Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here at tablemon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be playing with Isaiah Bradner's finalist Giratina Banette deck, which I feel is going to be widely played at Orlando Regionals. It was the highest placing Giratina deck and it does offer something unique with the Banette EX and the Banette options. I really like that the evolutions branch from the same Shuppet, which is really cool to see. Shuppet also offers another target for Buddy-Buddy Poffin for extra usability in or during the match, which I think is very important. It's something we saw with Cleffa in some decks, and having that extra little bit of targets and extra little bit of support, especially with the Puppet offering, giving you the chance to protect against possible Roxannes or Ionos and guarantee the Colress or the boss's orders, is actually really cool, whilst adding to your loss zone. And of course the Banette EX item log is very tempting. The other attack, Poltergeist, is also very powerful, as we saw Isaiah very successfully use it to lock his name in the finals against Alessandro's control deck. Alessandro had just enough trainer cards in their hand for Banette to knock out a hero caped Pidgeot EX, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of new dimensions to this Giratina VSTAR deck. Hope you like the thumbnail as well. Really cool as always. The artists that are helping me are very talented. And yeah, Iron Leaf's another addition to this deck to help deal with Charizard EX now that there's no more path to a peak. You have your V-Star and you have Iron Leaves. And then you also have the Force Seal Stone for that extra little bit of consistency, which was not seen before in Giratina V-Star decks, but is being a little bit more common now. It's a little bit of extra support, and there are definitely some matchups where you just don't need or can forego your V-Star for that little bit of extra consistency that can get you across the finish line. Now, no water energy in the energy lineup, so no threat of Radiant Greninja. That's one of the things that I feel is really lacking for this deck, but of course space can and is an issue. And then we also have Prime Catcher for our ace spec of choice. One boss, one Prime Catcher, and one Counter Catcher gives us a lot of flexibility into what we are doing. More gusting effects would be nice. You can recycle the boss with Banette, but of course Prime Catcher, one of the best cards, as it also offers a switching option, which Giratina thoroughly enjoys. So yeah, let's jump into the ladder and see what we can do with this deck. If you want to support the channel, you can use code tablemon to get 5% off at Potent Store for your online codes, 10% off for your sealed product at Flipside Gaming, and 10% off on your aluminum accessories at TC Evolutions. Or if you're looking to buy singles or sleeves, you can fill up your cart and close the tab, then click on the affiliate link in the description and check out. That way you can support the channel over at TCG Player, Card Market, and Dragon Shield. ¿Eres de México y necesitas cartas de Pokémon? Busca Hyperbeam Cards en Facebook e Instagram. Y si estás en Tijuana, búscalos en el local C27 en el Centro Comercial Otay. Alright, so let's see what Banette EX can actually do here. We get a pretty meh start. We will be able to flower select once, and then we have the Colress, but if we're up against an aggressive deck, that could be... Oh, actually, no, never mind, I'm going first. No, I'm going second, sorry, so his hand is pretty good. I'm probably gonna Colress before I Nest Ball, just so that I have flexibility with my Nest Ball. Usually if I didn't have the Colress, I would definitely Nest Ball first, of course, right? Or like even if I had Comfey, I would still Nest Ball, because you don't only want I mean, you want Comfey, but you want to get closer to the Colress. So I think there's a balance between when you play the Nest Ball, when you don't, or the Poffins or whatnot. But here we are off to a pretty decent start, just like my opponent. Honestly, my opponent has a pretty good start. Surprised they chose Cleffa here. Assuming they Nest Ball for Rotom. Like, going for Cleffa... Oh, wow, they just go Charizard, okay. So no Rotom. So maybe they're just assuming I'm going to take a KO, and then their hand's not so good that they're going to need to Cleffa as well. But top decking Force Seal Stone, this is definitely not the matchup where I want to use Force Seal Stone. Alright, pretty good Colress right there. Letting go of a Psychic. We do play 5, so I'm not super worried about not having access to those. Banette probably not gonna feature in this match too much. And yeah, one Psychic in the Lost Zone, non-priced, one Grass priced. The Iron Leaves is available, which is great. I did price 2 Colress though, so getting this price card is definitely going to be very important. I think to the point where I'm just gonna go ahead and Nest Ball for the Giratina as well. I really want to start applying pressure, and I am missing a Jet Energy right now or a switching card to do that. Now, this choice is a tough one. I think I'm gonna keep the Super Rod, though I'm not super happy about it. All right, now in order for me to get a KO here, I 100% need to find a switch card or switch of this Flower Select. All right, double Shuppet, easy decision, not the best one though. All right, we're gonna bench the double Tina. I do have the option to go Force Seal Stone into a KO, right? But then that uses up my V-Star, and I think I really need, and I want to keep my V-Star available, so I'm not gonna do it. I don't expect to Colress next turn. There's only one left in the deck. My opponent didn't attach energy. They might not be able to retreat into Cleffa. They might not be able to do much based on the fact that they immediately went for the Cleffa. Yeah. So we see a Turo into a Cleffa. Would have loved to be, like, if I could be 2 prizes ahead at this point, maybe that would compensate for the Forest Seal Stone, but I made my choice, right? So we're gonna go Flower Select. Now there's more merit. Oh, that's an awful Flower Select. What? Why am I getting these pairs? All right, well, I priced a Grass, so good thing I kept the Super Rod. I'm gonna have to discard another one right here. And now I do have Boss. I kind of like going after the Pidgey to eliminate that option for my opponent, at least immediately, right? They have 7 cards, so B-Barrel is not going to be super useful. I get some value out of my... I get a little bit more value than just knocking out a Cleffa. High chance of getting a Colress, very nice, all right. So I can respond, right? I can respond if they go Rare Candy Charizard. I do have the possibility to go Iron Leaves and get closer to the Giratina V-Star attack, so we're still in this. I might need to unlock the Grass Energy as well off the prize cards. We'll see. You know, we shall see, but definitely in a sort of precarious situation. My opponent does have attachment to the Radzard. Goes Ultra Ball into... I mean, to free up cards for sure. For the V-Barrel, there's the Pidgeot discard, which is really nice. Right, there's the Charizard. So we are going to see a Boss's Orders onto the Tina. Palpad, back the Boss. And the Professor Turo, interesting. Alright, so once again, having trouble with the switching cards, but I feel like I have a good chance at getting a Jet Energy or a switching card off of this next Colress. I knew they kept the Charizard EX, however, we'll see if they have Rare Candy. Their discard pile is glitching. Are you seeing that? Do you see that? Yeah, look at their discard pile. It's alternating between Palpad and Ultra Ball. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, worst case scenario is my opponent gets the choice belt to get a KO. Actually, that wouldn't be worst case scenario. All right, just 210. So hitting for 280 definitely has merit. This Colress will get me to 80. I could also just jet into the Cramorant to 110 because they did use a Boss's Orders, which they did put back, but they can't directly search for it anymore at this point. All right, gonna keep the Tina V-Star, gonna keep this Banette. Banette EX could surprise them in some situations, like the Poltergeist, but not super sold on it. I think I'd rather just keep the Nest Ball here. Alright, now this Banette does guarantee I have Colress next turn and or Boss's Orders. Now, in terms of energies, there's 4 Psychic and no Grass left in the deck. So I need to be very careful with my energy management right here. Dang, this would have been the perfect opportunity to use Iron Leaves though. Mostly I can't get to 10, so I do need to Super Rod back here. The 2 Grass energies, no way to get extra use out of that. I could use the other Giratina, right? Which I think that seems reasonable. To attack with the other one and just completely let go of this one. And then we're gonna do 280. And of course we're gonna Lost Zone geez, I can't speak today. The Jet and the Psychic. The Grass is way too important at this point in time. I mean, I am getting far ahead to the point where maybe it's not as crucial, but having it available, or having that available until I unlock the Grass from the prize cards, definitely important, right? Definitely important. So I feel like in a very comfortable spot at this point. No Pidgeot for my opponent, so I have way less access to whatever they might need to really threaten me. Just go Counter Catcher on my Tina, completely okay with that. Because now I have my Tina powered up and I have a Grass energy in play as well. And I don't have to worry about much. I'm probably just gonna promote the Cramorant directly and take the KO. I don't think I need to do anything else. Probably should be playing down the Force Heal Stone, even though I'm not gonna use it. They go Professor Arturo, that's fine. I wonder if they'll rebench the Cleffa here just to draw an extra card. They are pretty wide open to a Sableye though. Sableye for 3 prizes, that's fine, you protect that Charmander. I can go after these 2. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I have it guaranteed, right? I pretty much have it guaranteed, because I just Flower Select once, get to 10. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna keep the Banette as Banette for defense against Iono or Roxanne. So let's go Nest Ball for the Sableye. The other Super Rod is prized along with a Grass energy, so even more important to manage this properly. I would love a switching card. I could also honestly boss the P-Barrel, and that would make it so difficult for my opponent to attack me here, but I'm honestly feeling pretty confident. I don't think I'm gonna need the Iron Leaves anymore, because I still have my V-Star, right? Definitely keep the Grass. Was hoping for a switching card, but that's fine. So I'm gonna just Mirage Gate for 1 Psychic, sadly. Onto the Sableye. We are going to attach the Grass. Yes, have variety, have the Psychic as well for the Tina V-Star. Because I could just go Boss KO if they set up the Charizard EX in order to win. I mean, I kind of like this. It gives me the option if I get, like, it gives me flexibility. That and Banette gives me so much room to protect against whatever my opponent might do. So we're gonna do 5 on the active. That's a knockout. And then we're gonna KO the poor little Charmander. And we're gonna do 10 more on B-Barrel, so that even the B-Barrel is in range of Cramorant at this point. So we get ourselves 3 prizes, pretty decent. Wow, my last 2 prizes are Super Rod and Grass energy. That is incredible. Incredibly unfortunate. Not gonna lie. Very, very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, so what could happen here is my opponent goes Counter Catcher or Boss the Tina with a Choice Build or Defiance Band and gets 2 prizes that way. That's definitely a possibility. I would respond then with playing Temple of Sinnoh down and then KOing the Charmander and putting damage on the Radiant Charizard, which puts both of them in range of Cramorant, and then I should be able to win the game because my opponent has no 2 prize possibilities. Now I wonder if they're gonna bench anything. I mean, if they do knock out the Sableye, then I can't win this turn. Because I prized my other thing, my Super Rod. But if they don't, then if they don't KO the Sableye, then, or if they KO the Sableye rather, which seems like that's what they're gonna do, we are still perfectly fine here. I find Prime Catcher. Solid resource. My opponent really shouldn't be rare candying into Charizard. Sort of Bidoof. Oh wow, so they have 2-2 or at least 2-1 Bibarel. So maybe they have 2-2 Bibarel, 1-1 Pidgeot. That could be what they have. I don't have anything in the last one, right? No. Not sure. I generally don't know what they have, but all good. So best course of action for me here would probably be with the Super Rod prized. That's so annoying. The second Super Rod being prized is so awkward actually. Alright, well we get Charmeleon. Alright. So here's my plan. I'm gonna go Prime Catcher, KO Charmeleon, and then I have Banette for a Psychic Energy, or for a Colress or a Boss rather. To get rid of my Forest Seal Stone, that's honestly completely fine. Wow, that's a second Pidgeot, so they have at least a 2-1 Bibarel and at least a 2-1 Pidgeot. So not exactly the EUIC winning deck, that's for sure. Alright, they are using Artazon, checking their deck, whatever that might mean for them. Okay, they get another Charmander. Once again, that doesn't change much. Thanks to the Prime Catcher, I can go... They benched the Cleffa, so if I did have the Super Rod, then they would be in a lot of trouble. But getting 1 prize card should be difficult over the course of 2 turns, because I have 1 guaranteed right now, and I have the boss guaranteed as well through Banette. And if they KO Banette, then I'm 1 Psychic away from the V-Star, and if they KO the V-Star, then I have the boss and Cramorant to just close out the game. So honestly, feeling pretty confident here, even though it seems like, oh no, they used Roxanne and blah blah blah. I'm not I wouldn't fancy my chances if I were my opponent at this point in time. So let's go ahead and flower select. We will keep the Roxanne. Roxanne, not a bad card to have. Roxanne also is tempting now that they have this board, just so that they don't have access to anything afterwards. Now it's tempting to just go after the Bibarel, honestly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Prime Catcher the Bibarel thanks to that 1 leftover damage counter. And I'm gonna go ahead and Roxanne. I'll give myself a lot of resources. I have, once again, the Banette. And if I find this Psychic Energy, that's good enough. I have 2 attackers and I have Boss. So I generally, I'm fairly certain I have game on board, right? Because they overdid it with their bench. That Charmander and that Cleffa was a little bit of a stretch. If they hadn't benched those, then I would have just knocked out the Charmeleon, of course. But I'm feeling pretty good here. Thanks to the Banette, yeah? So the Banette actually made has been pretty impactful in this particular game, right? And just having that extra resource, I think Banette's value goes up when you factor in the fact that like your Poffin targets for Comfeys are just or rather, the only Poffin target you have is 4 Comfeys and 1 Manaphy. You know, sometimes you'll have Spiritomb as well, but it's like, it's so underwhelming, right? When you get a mid-game Poffin, it's like, you can't get your Giratinas, can't get your Sableye, can't get your Cramorant. So the extra resource of the Banette actually makes a pretty big difference. So as we see, my opponent got the boss's orders to take down my Giratina. It goes down to 1 prize card, but unfortunately for them, this is GG thanks to the puppet offering of Banette. Unless I'm misremembering, yeah, we have the puppet offering for the boss's orders, and that will be the game. So not bad, yeah, not bad. Pretty close game. We never ended up using Iron Leaves, which I could have actually used this turn if I found it, of course. I could have used the Mirage Gate, got energies into play, and then used Colress to hopefully find it. I could have also dog for it with Comfey, so I had game on board, so it wasn't necessary, but I also could have to deal with Radiant Charizard, or even another Charizard EX if it had come to that, and I didn't have this possibility, so pretty good, yeah, pretty good for now. I am leaving for Orlando Regionals literally later today, so only 1 game. Hope you enjoyed. It was definitely a very good one, right? Back and forth, and it showed how in control the deck was. And I do think that Isaiah got a little bit unlucky in the final against Tord. Of course, Tord did not miss a beat in terms of their decision making and also their sequencing. Isaiah had some unfortunate rough starts with a few key pieces, and that didn't allow him to really show the deck's power. So let me know if you've tried this. Let me know what you think about Banette EX. Let me know what you think about the thumbnail, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.